A mother is charged with causing harm to her own child. A sister sharing her most sinister secrets. As well as a video that stunned the internet. Is this merely gossip? They didn't want you to know the unpleasant truth? This goes beyond mere theatrics. The life of a youngster is at stake. Watch this video to get the entire tale. When Tesehki arrived, she began talking about you and, to be honest, became rather emotional. She abruptly implied that I was her ex. I was astonished, thinking, wow, I really thought we were cool. I used to think she was a good sister, but spending too much time with her made her angry over the tiniest things. She used to make fun of me for my advantages, constantly making jokes, even calling me Amy little brother occasionally. And then, who could forget how she used to call them vitamins when she really meant perks? Every time she ran out of those pills, it was like a switch flipped inside her, and her mood would swing from calm to irritated in seconds. It reminded me so much of how baby Toki dragged Chrisean through the worst of hell. But somehow, people continued to support her as if she were the victim. It got worse when Toki went too far and leaked a video of Chrisean allegedly hitting Junior. Because she was tired of hearing the poor baby cry, instead of intervening to help or demonstrating. Concerned, she turned around and used the situation to make Chrisean look bad in front of the world. And that video spread quickly, feeding into all the gossip and making things spiral out of control even more. The harsh reality is that Chrisean is the one who caused all of this. And she is the reason Junior has special needs in the first place. During her pregnancy, she smoked like a chimney and drank as if she didn't have a child inside of her. Acting like motherhood was the last thing on her mind every single day. Now, she has the audacity to be angry at the world because her son didn't turn out the way she wanted. It's almost as if she wants everyone else to bear the blame for what she did to that child before he was even born. A few days ago, she was arguing with Tia Kemp over the same kind of stupidity, and just when you think she might stop and think, she is out here quarreling with her like high school kids. People close to the situation have been saying for a while that Chrisean never seems to care who she hurts, whether it's family, friends, or even her own child. It's evident in everything she does, whether it's leaking private moments to the internet, clapping back at people who call her out, or refusing to take any real responsibility. If you think this behavior started recently, think again. The way she treated Junior during that Instagram live confirmed many people's suspicions as she raised her hand over him and said, "Watch this." That young boy's flinching revealed a tale that words could not describe. And his response was not typical of a child. Acting out of Toki's claims that Chrisean hits Junior when no one is looking caused a whole new wave of concern. And honestly, can you blame them? And instead of calming the situation or addressing it with any kind of real explanation, Chrisean did what she always does, flipping the narrative and making herself the victim again. She jumped online pleading with her fans to pray for her, asking them not to judge her, and acting as though the world was out to get her. That looked like the response of a child who has seen that hand fall on him before. People on the internet noticed it right away and began calling her out, saying that even if she did not hit him in that clip, it was clear something was happening. Behind the scenes, even though some people on the internet tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, others were quick to say exactly what they felt. One comment in particular really stuck with me. The way that boy twisted his body to get away told me everything I needed to know. However, you cannot play the victim forever, especially when a child's well-being is at stake. People are watching, and if she continues this reckless behavior, CPS will eventually show up at her door. Unless you have a good reason, you don't get so terrified of your own mother. And they were correct. According to another poster, even if Chrisean wasn't the one touching him, it might have been someone else. In any case, the child's reaction screamed trauma, and you can't fake that. Now, people are asking the big question. Is the internet overreacting? Or is this exactly the kind of red flag that should have everyone alarmed? At the end of the day, no child deserves to be caught in the middle of grown people's mess, especially not Junior, who didn't ask for any of this. And unless something changes quickly, this situation could get worse very quickly. She even left that baby locked in a hot car so she could argue with Blueface on the phone. You really can't make this stuff up. Now, after all that, she is putting her hands on that child and is upset with Tesehki for calling her out. She digs herself even deeper, and whenever someone calls out her behavior, she plays the same card in an attempt to guilt-trip the public by asking her fans to pray for me. This has become her go-to tactic whenever she is caught doing something wrong. And instead of accepting responsibility, she acts as though the world is just being cruel to her. However, the truth is that people were criticizing her long before. This most recent incident with Junior even occurred, and the internet was ablaze with criticism, particularly regarding her role in her own child's condition. Many people believe that she is directly responsible for the difficulties Junior faces today, and they have not been silent about it. Not too long ago, Chrisean was on a live stream with Daisa Frost when a caller came on and let her have it. Dragged her for everything, accusing her of ruining Junior's life. And they didn't hold back either. They called her every derogatory name you can imagine, and it quickly became very ugly. Then, as usual, Chrisean went back online and changed the story, asking people to pray for her as if that would make everything go away. It seemed as though she believed that by asking for prayers, everything would be resolved after all. You put your own child in danger. And now you want people to feel sorry for you. But it didn't stop there. If anything, it got worse. Chrisean went live again, not to apologize or explain, but to demonstrate to the world how little she actually cared about Junior's safety right there on her stream. She left Junior crying in a car while she stood outside arguing with Blueface on the phone. And it wasn't just a fleeting moment either. The poor baby continued to cry louder and louder while Chrisean continued to argue as if nothing else mattered. And when the crying became so intense that viewers could hear it through the live stream, what did she do? Instead of putting her phone down and dealing with the situation herself, Chrisean delegated her responsibility to a stranger, someone she had never met before, so that everyone could see how little she valued her role as a mother. It was as if her priorities were completely out of sync. Watchers were appalled. This has become a pattern where Chrisean makes a mistake, gets called out, plays the victim, and then begs for prayers. Some even reported her stream for child neglect, which was so bad that Twitch banned her from the platform altogether because they didn't want to be involved in the mess. People were left wondering how far Chrisean was willing to go in order to avoid taking responsibility for her actions. She claimed she never left her baby in a car, despite the fact that people had actually witnessed it happen live. She attempted to spin the tale that Junior was outside where other people were watching him, but by that point, no one was buying it. It is a recurring cycle, and each time it becomes more difficult for people to overlook her, especially when a child is involved. Eventually, the excuses are no longer effective, and people are willing to speak out about what is happening. If Chrisean continues to put her pride before her child's safety, it will only be a matter of time until someone steps in for real, whether it's CPS or the law. Because no amount of live stream apologies or heartfelt prayer requests will be sufficient when it comes to a child's safety. Additionally, Chrisean is running out of opportunities more quickly than she realizes. As viewers reported her for child neglect and Twitch banned her because they didn't want to be involved in this mess. Of course, she returned denying everything. Ever. Even though people actually witnessed it happen. Live. I didn't leave my child in the car, she added. Adding that no one believed the lie that there were people nearby to watch him. Then she changed the narrative, accusing Junior's father of not helping or supporting her. She began naming everyone she could think of, including Mikey, Chinbone, and Arissa, in an attempt to show that she had a strong support system. But it was obvious by then that this situation was beyond saving. Chrisean has been very clear about one thing. She does not need anyone's help when it comes to her son. She repeatedly boasted that she never had to buy diapers, wipes, or even clothes for him, claiming that everything he needed came from other people. She also shot down any rumors that she was homeless, calling out those who dared to spread false information about her circumstances. Chrisean, however, did not stop there. She also targeted those who claimed to care about her child, accusing them of acting worried, when in reality, they never really cared about Junior. She reminded everyone of how the story kept shifting, first claiming that Junior was not Blueface's baby, then changing their story and pushing a different one. The back-and-forth accusations only made things more toxic, and Chrisean benefited from the drama. However, it was nothing compared to the furor that erupted between Chrisean and her own sister Tesehki, whose falling out became the talk of the internet, particularly regarding Chrisean's treatment of Junior. What began as a minor family drama quickly turned into a serious matter when people saw something upsetting on Instagram Live. Chrisean went live while hanging out with Junior. And what happened during that stream shocked many people. She was playing around, but at one point she looked at the camera and said, "Watch this," before lifting her hand over Junior as if she were going to hit him. Although she didn't hit him, the way Junior reacted was so natural and quick that it left many viewers uneasy. It appeared to be the reflex of a child who had learned to expect the worst whenever a hand was raised near him. The internet immediately erupted in reactions, with people accusing Chrisean of abusing Junior behind the scenes. They said that the way he flinched in terror could only mean one thing: whether or not she struck him on camera, they thought. It was happening when no one else was around. And guess who was quick to confirm those fears? Her sister Tesehki. According to Tesehki, she had been telling people that Chrisean hits Junior whenever they are alone, and that this was not just an isolated incident. Rather, it was a regular pattern, which is why Junior reacted the way he did. During that live stream, Tesehki even went so far as to make fun of Chrisean online, posting a video in which she mocked her, claiming that she is a real mother who takes care of her children and does not spend her life chasing after a man. The beef between Chrisean and Tesehki was much deeper than the online teasing, before the abuse allegations surfaced. Chrisean accused Tesehki of doing something horrible to her when they were younger, claiming that Tesehki had inappropriately touched her as a child. This shocking accusation set the internet on fire, and Tesehki did not take it lying down. She clapped back, threatening to sue Chrisean for defamation. She denied everything, claiming that their relationship had been rocky for years due to their troubled childhood. As per Tesehki, Chrisean was manipulating the past to make her look bad, and she was not going to accept it. Now, not only are they at war over family secrets, but the battle for Junior's safety has turned into a public circus. With people taking sides and the internet watching everything they do, in the midst of all of this, Junior, a child caught between adult drama accusations and an ugly battle that doesn't seem to be going away, is at the center of the controversy. And it's obvious that this is about a little boy's well-being and whether or not the adults in his life will ever put his needs ahead of their own self-centered arguments. Seeing Junior flinching like that on live made viewers wonder if Chrisean had been putting her hands on him when no one was around. As his reaction seemed too real to be dismissed as a joke, as if that weren't enough, people began to wonder what was actually going on behind closed doors when they heard that Tesehki had been saying the same thing, claiming that Chrisean had been touching Junior when no one else was around to witness it, which would explain why the young boy reacted the way he did and why he flinched so hard when Chrisean raised her hand. This further fueled people's concerns about how Junior was actually being treated at home. But Tesehki didn't stop there. She went further by publicly disparaging Chrisean in a video that she uploaded online, making it obvious that she saw herself. As the Tesehki boasted that she was a better mother and that she didn't need a rapper, a reality TV check, or anyone else to hold her down because Chrisean was pursuing men and power instead of raising her child. However, beneath all the name-calling and public criticism, there was a much deeper issue between these two sisters. Their feud had nothing to do with a simple family argument. It began years before Junior was even born, and what had begun as A sibling rivalry had developed into a toxic, messy, and highly public war that was visible to the world. It was no longer just a private dispute between two sisters. It had turned into a full-fledged battle of accusations, unpleasant secrets, and a terrible family history. Junior, a young boy too young to comprehend the drama, but old enough to feel the weight of it every day, was caught in the middle of it all. Prior to all of this, Chrisean had accused Tesehki of touching her when they were children. Tesehki clapped back, threatening to sue Chrisean for lying, saying that their relationship was broken because of their messed-up childhood and that she was making up stories about the past. Tesehki said that they didn't even like each other and never really did. However, it didn't end there. Their nephew also came forward with shocking accusations against Tesehki, saying that Tesehki would make him do housework in exchange and that this felt so wrong, especially since they were family. His grandmother was strict about keeping the house clean. But this went too far. Chrisean recently spoke about it again in an interview with Jason Lee, saying that Tesehki had hurt more people than just herself. Chrisean also pointed out that if she had been lying, Tesehki would have already served her those defamation papers. But nothing has happened yet. Chrisean believes the truth is just too hard for Tesehki to face. One story out. He said one aunt even pulled him into a bathroom and made an inappropriate comment that left him scared and confused as a young child growing up. Out. Chrisean clarified that she was not the only one who spoke her opinions on Tesehki and Chrisean, called her bluff when Tesehki threatened to sue her for bringing up such grave allegations, asking, "Where are the documents?" "I haven't gotten anything." Chrisean claims that there isn't a lawsuit, and that if there were, it would have been widely shared on social media by now. There is clearly a great deal of animosity between Tesehki and Chrisean, things that we most likely aren't even aware of. However, Chrisean needs to exercise caution when it comes to Junior, as she is being closely watched. One day, CPS might arrive and take that baby away if she continues in this manner. Online users had a lot to say. Someone remarked on how Junior twitched his entire body and attempted to back off as soon as Chrisean raised her arm. She even uttered the words, "Watch this," just before she did it, as if it were hilarious. I have seen this before. No matter what condition a child has, they know when something bad is about to happen, especially if it has happened before, the commenter said, fully believing that she was beating Junior as her sister had said. The commenter labeled her evil, claimed Chrisean becomes enraged at Blueface, angry that Junior is not his child, angry at the youngster's behavior, and angry that everyone is aware of what she did. And somehow, the cost of it all falls on this helpless, innocent infant. Even if Kian wasn't the one striking him, it's possible that someone else was. Someone else added. Additionally, they may have been far too harsh on him. In any case, the baby's reaction appeared to be a genuine trauma response. What do you think? Is the internet exaggerating the situation? Or do people have legitimate concerns about Junior? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to see another crazy story you won't soon forget.